This week's best MMA bets, we're talking UFC Mexico City. I'm going to give you guys my lock of the week, my most confident picks on the card. We'll talk favorite underdogs, Degen Props of the night, and then finish it out with the parlays. So make sure you guys smash the like button if you're new, subscribe, turn the post notifications on, and make sure you share the video too. Last week was great success.
Great success.
Taco Padilla comes through, underdog, savage lock of the week, pulls through, gets a hard-fought competitive win over Jai Herbert, and it puts me in a good spot. 5-1 over the last 6 with the savage dog locks, and the one loss was a contentious split decision, to say the least, even though it wasn't a split decision. I think it should have been. I'm looking at this week, and you know I'm keeping this momentum rolling. I got another savage dog lock for you guys, and I want to jump right into things. So without further ado, the lock of the week. Melquizael Costa, savage dog lock for UFC Mexico City. A lot of people guessed that this is what I'd be doing, and you guys were right. I love the chances of Melquizael Costa handling business here. He's got that slight size advantage on C-Rod, which I definitely think helps him if they hit the grappling department. I already favor Costa's jiu-jitsu over C-Rod's grappling game. But in the striking, I actually think Costa could give Christian Rodriguez some difficulty. Snapping kicker is Melquizael Costa. I could see him landing big shots to the body, not fearing a takedown threat on the other side. I expect him to be quite active with his kicks as they strike. And when I look at the fight on the inside, yes, Rodriguez does have decent combinations, does have decent physicality and strength, and he's a pretty well-refined up-and-comer. But I think Melquizael Costa is a tricky matchup for him. In the striking, I like the ability to kick from range for Melquizael. I like elbows on the inside, and I don't think he's getting knocked out by C-Rod. I think Melquizael Costa could eat a big punch. Add into the fact that Melquizael's debut was a lightweight fight, whereas C-Rod was fighting at bantamweight and missing a lot of weight in the bantamweight division. Now, a lot of people are high on C-Rod's resume because he's the quote-unquote prospect killer. And he is. He deserves that tag. Beat Austin Bashi last time out. He was a big underdog there. And then Bashi was 13-0. Fight before that, Erosa handled business, right? Then he had that controversial decision win over Bulgarian. I thought he had lost that fight. Beat Cameron Simon, but let's not forget he missed weight by, 4 pounds. So there's a factor. But he would have handled Cameron probably either way. But it's not like Simon didn't have a few moments. Beat Raul Rosas Jr. Again, missed weight in that one as well, and was able to handle Rosas' early grappling pressure storm. And then before that, it was like Joshua Weems win, of course. Lost to Jonathan Pierce in the debut. But then I look at Melquizael Costa's frame, and I'm like, okay, bigger, better jiu-jitsu. I'd say better grappler. Really nasty back takes and chokes. We've seen Rodriguez get his back taken before, and we've seen him submitted. I don't think Melquizael Costa by sub is a crazy outcome. I don't think Melquizael Costa by decision would be that crazy either. I think Melquizael Costa's got a fantastic chance to win this fight, guys. I really do. I initially saw this fight and I said, yeah, I'm probably savage dog locking Melquizael Costa, but I did my due diligence, really trying to find if C-Rod has a high likelihood of finding the answer. And I guess I think the answer is no. Costa's coming off a win over 20-plus fight UFC veteran Andre Fili. And last time out for C-Rod, it was against a debuting guy who had hype for sure in Bashi, but not a Melquizael Costa style of fighter. Good pressure grappling base, but inexperienced at a high level. I think Costa's jiu-jitsu is going to be nasty on the mat. Kicking skills is going to be tough. And I feel like he got that wiry frame that is maybe the weakness of C-Rod. We saw him subbed up nasty by Julian Erosa. We saw him out grappled by Jonathan Pierce years ago. He's got that wiry frame like Costa does. And I think Melquizael Costa is pretty talented, man. I think he's a decent prospect on the come up as well. And he's starting to find some footing after that big win against Andre Fili with, essentially double the pro fight experience. I have to favor Costa to take it home for Brazil, get a little savage mode Brazil in this. And I think he's getting the underdog win. I think he's being slept on. I'm surprised that he's this big of a dog. It opened up at plus 115, which I don't think is crazy. Costa at plus 115, but now you got plus 147. The money's going the other way. The money's going C-Rod. C-Rod's minus 172. I think Costa is very live to get a submission. It's more of a degen play, plus 900, upwards even plus 1200 for sub. But I say, no, plus 900 I'm seeing here. I didn't see plus 12. Thinking of a different line. We'll talk degen props. You hear it? That's a hint. Plus 900 Costa by sub. Is that it? No, we got plus 500. What am I looking? I'm looking at KO. I'm getting overly excited, guys. I'm getting jittery and antsy to fucking call the most savage of props. Knockout, less likely. I'm going to say Costa by submission or decision, but that's not what the lock is. The lock is the money line. You throw straight down the center. I think Melquizio Costa is fighting hard for your money. I don't think C-Rod has the stopping power to put him away. I think Costa, with the frame and physicality advantage, the tricky jiu-jitsu, and a quality Muay Thai base, is able to handle business here against a talented guy in C-Rod. Both have skills for sure, but I like Costa's chances, and I think the wiry frame is maybe the kryptonite to C-Rod. I believe so. Let me pop out the Zin for the lock. We're going Savage Dog Lock, Melquizio Costa. And for those who called it during the live streams, congrats, you were right. You guys read me like a fiddle. You knew who I was dog locking. Shout out Melquizio Costa. I'm hyped for this fight, and I think we got a good dog coming. I do. I feel it in my bones. I'm damn excited for it. We'll talk more about Melquizio Costa in that parlay section because I got some savagery coming. But first things first, we got to jump into the most confident picks. It's time to talk the chalky lockies, my confident calls, regardless of betting lines, essentially. So we're going to go one by one, and we'll talk about each of them. First up, Body Bags Joe Pyfer. Simply put, Kelvin Gastelum is way beyond his prime. Even though he's not an old guy, he's taken a lot of damage in the cage. Joe Pyfer is a sensational prospect with legit power in his hands. He won the first 2 rounds against Jack Hermanson, and I see him as an extremely good 3-round fighter. Worry would be we're in Mexico City, but Pyfer seems to be in pretty good physical condition. And I think he also, besides having a striking edge over the aging Gastelum, is going to have good jiu-jitsu and better grappling. Pyfer is quality in every aspect of the game. Really explosive with legit knockout power. It's just Gastelum has like an ungodly chin. I don't know how he takes these shots. Gastelum, never KO'd before. And as much as I really think Pyfer's got the ability to hurt him, to put away Gastelum with that cinder block of a head, probably not, because the Mexican chin stands strong. Now, money line on Pyfer is a little wide. You're sitting around the minus 300 range for him. Looking at Pyfer to win by a decision, which I think is a real possibility, upwards of plus 175. What would be more of a degen call would be sub, but it's only plus 315. If it was sitting around plus 600, maybe it'd be worth a conversation. If you do think he's the first guy that chins Gastelum and you're like hard pressed to bet Pyfer by KO, I respect you. Plus 265. But note that Gastelum has all-time great durability, and he is the prime example of what a Mexican chin is, because Gastelum can eat shots for days. But Pyfer should have a clear-cut speed advantage. He's more primed. He's more well-versed. I didn't love the striking for Gastelum against Daniel Rodriguez last fight, and that fight did end up taking place at 185, even though it was initially scheduled for 170, and I think Pyfer handles business. High-confidence Pyfer pick. I would be shocked if he loses. So, chalky-locky, high-confidence pick, Joe Pyfer. Next up, Raul Rosas Jr. I think he's going to handle Vince Morales. I mean, Morales last time out was unable to find great grappling success against a guy who, has a bit of a wrestling background, but is nowhere near the physical presence of a grappling style fighter as Raul Rosas and Elijah Smith, who's a good prospect, but a good striking prospect, right? When I think of Elijah Smith, I think of kickboxing. I don't think of beating people up on the ground, brute force takedowns, top control. Raul Rosas should have the better jiu-jitsu than Morales. I think that he is a better version of what Morales attempts to be, right? Pressure grappling style, bit of stand-up, but never going to be the bread and butter of his game. Now, the line is ugly at minus 450, but I'd be relatively surprised to see Morales win. And this is a guy who likes to pick Morales and me. I picked him against Elijah. I was damn wrong, but I was right on that fight being close. This one here, I think Rosas out-grapples him. Morales does have really good front headlocks. So, the Darce, the Peruvian, the guillotine, those are all tricky weapons that he brings to the table. But my ultimate consensus is going to be put as this: Vince Morales is not getting the crimson chin in some type of submission. I think it's going to be damn hard to submit Raul Rosas Jr. And I'm going to say Raul Rosas wins a competitive decision. Probably not going to be the best fight you've ever seen. There'll be competitive moments, but I'll also say I don't think Morales has much of a striking edge. He's more of a gritty striker, but I could see Rosas landing good shots on the feet. Rosas normally does start fast. The primary concern, I'll say, with the young Raul Rosas would be what happens in the third round. But he showed good comeback ability with Ricky Tercios in their fight. And I feel like Rosas Jr. is getting better. And I think he handles Vince Morales to, 29-28, maybe a 30-27. But ultimately, I think Rosas Jr. by unanimous decision makes a lot of sense. Plus 125 if you like it by unanimous decision. Just decision altogether sits at plus 105. Money line of Rosas Jr. sucks. I have like a bit of, hesitancy with Rosas, but I just look at this matchup and I'm like, man, I think he can beat Morales where Morales is best. And I'm going to say Rosas Jr. on the scorecards ends up pulling through and getting a dub. He's shown moments of like, yo, this kid's going to be a contender. Then he's had moments of lapse as well, but I don't think you can really flack him too hard for that loss to C-Rod. C-Rod, now fighting at featherweight, didn't even make weight for their fight, and Rosas still did good in the first round. So Rosas Jr. to beat Vince Morales is my pick. Next up, Edgar Chairez. I think he is a good call. I just see the physical presence. He's built like a fucking nacho, super wide back. He has kind of awkward build, very wiry arms, but like the broad shoulders and the thick back. Physically strong guy with knockout power, nasty leg kicking ability. CJ Vergara is a peppering puncher with decent punch combinations, but not much stopping power in my opinion. And I just don't think he's all that. I think Chairez is mean. He's younger. He's meaner. I think he's better at jiu-jitsu. I think he's more powerful. I think he's better at kickboxing. Vergara's got decent boxing, but like I'm telling you, it's peppering shots, right? Reminds me more of like a open amateur boxer, like, yeah, sure. He knows how to box. No one's saying he doesn't, but Chairez has the ability to land big shots and do damage, and he has the ability to grapple. Whereas for Vergara to win, I feel like it would have to be more of like a competitive 3-round back and forth where he outstrikes Chairez over the 3 rounds and avoids getting taken down or hit with big shots, which I'm just having a hard time seeing that path. I think Chairez is a pretty dangerous talent. Around minus 250 for Chairez as a fair size favorite, not a surprising line. If the submission does come through, it's plus 250. Chairez does have the submission tactics to pull that off, but not like, a juicy enough line to make you want to run out and chase the odds, Looking at decision for Chairez, more likely plus 150. I'll say Chairez probably on the cards. If you got a knockout, that'd be huge. Vergara was KO'd last time, but to be fair, it was against Ramazan Temirov, who has crazy power, especially for flyweight. Chairez hits hard, but I don't know, more straight punches, good jab, good leg kick. I could see him winning striking exchanges and then getting the fight to the ground. So the pick is Chairez. Yes, he's a chalky favorite, but yes, he should pull through and win. Next up, main event. I'm going Brandon Moreno, high confidence. I was one of the early Erceg's witnesses, but I'm not going to pick him against Brandon Moreno. I feel like Moreno actually looked great against Amir Albazi. I feel as though he's still absolutely in his prime, and I think that Moreno can outwork Steve Erceg over 5 hard rounds. Now, it isn't an impossibility that Moreno's wrestling is the ultimate difference maker, and he's able to actually work towards potentially a submission finish, but Erceg has a knack for submission defense. He got caught by a big shot last time against Kai Kara-France, but did put up a really good fight against Pantoja, losing a decision. As Moreno put up a good fight against Pantoja, losing a split decision in very close fashion, and he's lost 3 times to Pantoja on competitive decisions. I guess it got more competitive every time they fought. I think Moreno's still in the title picture, and I just don't think Erceg's winning a 5-round main event, especially in Mexico City against Brandon Moreno. I think Moreno is still primed. I feel like he's going to have more accurate striking. I think he has success on the feet and success in grappling. I think Moreno works for a hard-fought decision. Potential submission, though. Like, it's not impossible. It's plus 800 for sub, maybe a later stage sub. Decision more likely plus 130, but ultimately, the most confident side would be straight down the center. It's a chalky line, minus 240, but it is something you can parlay. Steve Erceg does have good striking combinations, does have decent wrestling in his own right. He's a crafty prospect or contender, I guess you really should say, but I don't even think he necessarily deserves to be in the spot. Initially, was supposed to be fighting against Asu Almabayev, got this opportunity here, jumped on it. It's a great chance for him. 2 losses in a row. I think this is a hard matchup. And I'm going to say that Brandon Moreno handles business against good talent in Steve Erceg, but he's not taking out Moreno. Moreno at 31 still looks in his prime. I think his boxing looked maybe better than ever last time against Albazi. And I know a lot of people will throw flack at Albazi. Oh, well, he's fucking washed. Albazi shit. Albazi had the injury. Dominated. Looks super clean. Looks super tactical and technical. And I think he's going to look good here as well against Steve Erceg. Now, I do want to give you guys a bonus because I felt like, it wouldn't be fair to me not to drop a bonus. Bonus call, Markel Mederos at -160. I like the money line there. I wanted to give you a more money lineable one. I think that he has a good chance of winning this fight. I do believe he could beat Austin Hubbard, and I like the odds of him winning. Next up, I'm going to do a second bonus here. So these are the extensions to the most confident picks. I think Rafa García, the reason he wasn't put in the lineup is because -500 for Rafa García is a little hard for me to actually say, like, go out and put it in your parlays, especially if you're just doing a 2-legger, you're not getting too much. But I am confident in Rafa winning the fight. There's still high confidence there, and he is a most confident pick. It's just the line is egregious. It's just because Pichel's, 42 years old, but Rafa's going to win. So I'll include him as, an alternate, another honorable mention in the lineup to bring big 6, because I'm feeling good about all 6 of these calls, but it's also because I want to give one cautionary tale at the end of this segment. Raul Rosas Jr. in the past, you guys know if you follow the channel, I made a big fumble on him at one point when I was in my real dark days. That was a rough moment. I've made great success and learned from then. But like in the back of my mind, I always have a little oof, Raul. So Rafa García is going to be the alternate for those that don't want to play Raul Rosas Jr. Maybe you were with me that week, confident that he was going to pull through. And then, when he fumbled against C-Rod, things were awry. They went sideways. So Rafa García could be a fill-in. So I like those. Those are like 6 high confidence picks. Normally I just do 4. But I want to give you guys more options for Mexico City because I'm feeling good about these 6 picks. Like, I think there's high likelihood of all of them. And I wanted to leave the women's fights out of it. But I do have a women's fight prop that I will announce when we get to the prop section. And, there's some confidence on the call, but not going to be in the most confident pick. So I'm doing a big 6 this week. 4 is the real deal most confident. The 5th is also a quality pick, but with the stipulation, sophomore UFC appearance. And the 6th, very confident call ultimately on the actual fight, but fuck, the line sucks at -500, and it shouldn't be that wide. But Pichel probably past his best days, stepping on short notice. Garcia in good shape, training with a good team, and he should win. So there you go. Some savage calls. Some savage calls, man. Dropping hella heat for the most confident picks this week. It's also because, having a savage dog lock, but then the underdog section, I feel a little dry this week. Underdog section, Gabriel Miranda at +295. Now, also, I'll just bring this up as was an underdog pick. Dober was at plus money when I picked him, but that's a fucking 50-50 fight, and I will never sit here and lie to your face and tell you that's a lock by any means. It's a 50-50, but Dober could catch Torres. Torres' adaptability looks terrible, especially against Bahamondes, but Bahamondes is also a super talented up-and-comer, and Dober's an OG, scrappy journeyman vet that delivers heavy power, but at times gets hit in the face a fuck ton. So take the Dober pick with a grain of salt. Not really loving betting Dober at favorite status. Maybe if it flips to the dog, it would be something to consider. We'll see Friday after the weigh-ins. But Miranda, Degen dog, +295. I think Jamall Emmers is going to get submitted, and people have told me I'm crazy, but I think he struggles with wild styles. Unorthodox striking, bit of chaotic striking, I'll even say, with the side of Gabriel Miranda. On top of that, it's also the fact that Gabriel Miranda has a, high caliber jiu-jitsu skill set. Yes, Jamall Emmers has a black belt, but Miranda's jiu-jitsu is gnarly, and I could see him taking the back of Emmers early, especially when they're dry, and strangling him. So Emmers, to lose here, he's -360. I think he's way too big of a favorite. And Miranda +295. Emmers 3-4 in the UFC, trading wins and losses all the time. Whereas like Miranda, yeah, I know he's 1-2 in the UFC, but the Shane Young win was sensational. And he's got a chance for us up here, but not the most confident underdog calls. That's why there's a savage dog lock. And then there's, the other favorite dogs. But Miranda still, got to give him some respect as a Degen dog call, +295. I think he's got a better chance than that. I do want to jump to the Degen prop section. Let's talk about some of these props before we jump over to the parlays. And I might as well just jump into the Miranda fight one more time. So I was thinking, if you're a sick Degen and you're like, fuck it, What if we go round one submish Miranda plus 1,200? I don't think that's a crazy outcome. I think that's a viable outcome. First round submission for Gabriel Miranda, probably how he gets it. It's like first round sub, potentially a bust. So I'll say there's a possibility. Just straight submission plus 460. And obviously, you know the money line from the last section. We got more though. Okay. That's not it for the prop section. Now I picked Markel Mederos as a confident pick. I like the odds of him going distance. I love his striking flow, but I think it's a patient striking flow. Though he has power, wasn't able to put away Landon Quinones, and he can be tactical. More so favoring the over 2.5, minus 280. Markel Mederos to win it on the judges' scorecards does not seem crazy at plus 105. But I did find this interesting, and this would be more of a long shot that's not an official pick, but odds to success ratio, kind of surprising. It's plus 550 for the knockout from Mederos. He does have knockout power. Maybe he did like a knockout prop hedge with, Mederos to win by decision, maybe in a parlay or the over 2.5. We'll get to the parlays and we'll talk parlays. But I saw the KO prop as overly wide, though the official call is that decision plus 105. Money line obviously better, and it's money lineable to be fair. But something I just had to mention with this section. And we got more. That ain't all. Okay, we got another one. David Martinez. Reason he's not in the most confident picks? Simple. Unproven in the UFC. So I was like, maybe I got to keep him off. But there would have been 7. There easily could have been. Martinez would have been up next. But how many fucking most confident picks can I have, Then at this point, we're just doing a full card prediction. Minus 360 is a very wide tag, but he should win. I like knockout a lot. Knockout for Martinez, plus 125. I think he's fucking chinning Simon Oliveira. So if you are going to bet Martinez, I feel like you go knockout. Simon Oliveira, I know he went distance with Tony Gravely, but then finished against Daniel Marcos the fight after. And defensively, he's inept at striking. He's just not good at stand-up at all. And I think he gets fucked up. And that fight probably goes under 2.5, which is minus 105, just to mention something else for it. Now, Lupita Godinez fight, probably going over 2.5, minus 600. The line completely sucks. Godinez to win on the judges' scorecards. What is that? Oh my God, it's minus 185. I thought it was plus 185. So essentially unplayable, but had to be mentioned. I think she wins a decision. If the fight's closer, maybe it's the spread for Polastri, but as of right now, where I'm at, I don't have the spread. But, we talk spreads on Friday during the weigh-in show, so tune in then. We'll talk a little bit more about spreads on this card. But I'm liking where those calls are at with the prop section, all right? Degen Savage prop for you guys with that Miranda sub round number 1. And then just some quality, decisions or over props, maybe a knockout prop for Martinez that you can potentially play, all right? Let's keep it running, though. Let's go to the parlays. Let's talk about them. Everybody's favorite section. Last week was Savage Mode USA. Actually, the 10-1 Fletcher got robbed and didn't hit. But I feel like that hit as far as actual predictions. But we did hit the plus 1245 last week. We hit the plus 559, the plus 525. I mean, the whole lineup was fabulous last week. So big plus money was made last week. I had some amazing calls with the parlays. And I want you guys to keep on bringing the thunder and cash in. So I'm giving you guys a wide array of options this week. I know that you guys won't agree with everyone, and maybe you take a Degen one and you make an adaptation slightly that's better suited to what you think is going to happen. Because at the end of the day, I say it to you guys all the time. Do not blindly tail unless you just throw in a few bucks. Do your own research. See where we line up so you have the highest likelihood of success, because I'm trying to give you guys all the tools for the highest level of success. All right, chat? Parlays. Pyfer, Rosas Jr., that should happen. Now, because Rosas Jr. sold me heavy in the past, I said, fuck it. I want to just go the good vibe plus 103, Pyfer and Mederos, okay? Because Rosas Jr., though I'm calling it, it had this feeling. I'm like, fuck. But if Rosas loses again, I'm going to want to hit myself on stream. So tune into the Fight Companion. But hopefully he wins so we don't have to do any, damaging shit like that. Moreno and Shirez should win at minus 102. It's a good alternate. And then, if you only want plus money, then Pyfer and Mederos is a 2-leg that I like the chances of a lot. Bringing some more thunder. Pyfer, Rosas Jr., and Shirez, plus 127 for some plus money. I like it. Pyfer, Rosas Jr., and Mederos Hubbard over 2.5 rounds, plus 127 as well. If you don't like the side of Shirez, or maybe you don't like the side of Rosas Jr., and you alternate him with Shirez, or whatever pick you feel is right. Maybe it's Rafa García, right? Next up, Costa, Shirez, plus 220. I do think that they have real chances to win. Good underdog and good close enough money favorite. Now, to go for the clean big 4 of the confident picks, Pyfer, Rosas Jr., Shirez, Moreno at plus 231, which I think has a real fair shot here, man. I do. I do. I really do. I think this week there is going to be some chalky faves that pull through. But before I officially call it with that, I just want to get the lines in front of my face so I can see something here. If you were to add in Markel Mederos, now that tag brings you to nice plus money. Now that tag brings you to plus 426. To be honest with you, I meant to put that on the screen. Sorry for not, but I'll scream it out to you now. Mederos in your lineup, plus 426 if you like the odds of him coming through. Now, if you also like Rafa García, now you're at plus 534. So you do have a savage play off the clean sweep if you ride with everything. You just can't screenshot and bail. You got to listen to my words to get that one. And then for those that are like, dog, I'm staying away from Rosas Jr. If you take Rosas out, you're still at plus 407. And then if you don't like betting main events, you're at plus 250. If you got Pyfer, Shires, Mederos, and Rafa García as an alternate sweep option if you're looking for 4 legs for something to read off. Now let's keep going down. The quality call, Costa, Pyfer, Rosas Jr., and Mederos, Hubbard over 2.5. Plus 434, I think it's quality. I think it's quality. I do. I believe it's quite quality. Quite quality. Next one, Costa, Pyfer, Rosas Jr., Shires, and Moreno, plus 677. I think this is W City. I believe all these calls are going to come through, especially with some underdog savagery. Like I said, though, you could always add some more fucking thunder. You want to be a wild man. You're like, fuck it, I want Degen savagery. If you threw Costa in that lineup for that same play of, the W City, now you're bringing plus money of plus 1422, which, it's a good chance. Is that 1422? No, it's if you add everything. I'm getting too excited. I'm talking about, my bad. W City, if you added in the 2 other confident calls. Excuse me, let me take my words back. Now, the fire call below it at plus 959. Costa, Pyfer, Rosas Jr., Shires, Moreno, and Mederos, Hubbard over 2.5. I do think it's fire. I do think it probably comes to fruition. Obviously, at a lot of books, they're not going to allow you to put Mederos money line in with the over, but if they did, you can get some more juice on it right there. Savage dog call with Costa, Pyfer, Rosas Jr., Shires, Moreno, and Miranda, plus 2,813. Think there's a good shot for that. And like I said, if you're like, fuck it, I don't want to play Rosas Jr., you replace him with Rafa García or Mederos, you're still getting a great plus money tag for a savage dog parlay. Then keep on moving down to the Degen savagery. Costa, Pyfer, Rosas Jr., Shires, Moreno, Miranda, and you keep it running with Mederos, Hubbard over 2.5, plus 3,873 for the Degen savage call. Now, if you're looking for a prop play, Mederos decision, Martinez KO, and Costa sub for the big 3, plus 4,012. And if you want to be a complete Degen and you add Miranda by sub in the first round to that same lineup, now you're at plus 53,354. $100 making you a lot of money. $53,000. It's a possibility, man, but it's a complete savage prop. Hardcore Degen savagery. Hardcore Degen savagery. Can I do one better than that? No, probably not. I think that's pretty fucking good, man. Like, you're chasing with the sub props because, picking them all right is one thing. Going for now, adding a round 1 sub for Miranda is why you're getting, such a big tag because, the book's like, no, we'll pay you that out. But shit, for a Degen animalistic call like that, you guys feeling it? Let me know in the comments if you're feeling it. I'm curious, though. Let me know in the comments, guys, if any of these ones here are ones you're like, dog, I was already on that, or I was going to play that same one, and you felt that energy and that confidence just grow substantially as I made those calls, because I'm curious. I'm curious, people. You guys know I always am. I'm just thinking, like, can I do an alternate to the Savage Dog or the alternate to the Fire? I guess it would be replacing Rosas Jr., but Rosas is going to come through. It's more of like a PTSD circumstance for me than actually a lack of confidence on the pick because I think that he wins. I think so. I was actually looking at another option if you like a safe play, but you don't want to play Pyfer and Rosas Jr. This actually was something that came to me right now. I said, I probably could have put this in the lineup, but I don't like to spam plays that are, favorite status in the negative money, right? Minus 108, right? It's a minus tag. So you got to lay 108 for the 100. Pyfer Moreno is not crazy, though. That's actually a pretty good fucking pick. High-quality fighters that deliver and I think have a very good chance of going out there succeeding and probably looking quite good as well. Yeah, I'm liking the parlays, man. I'm looking at anything. I like to see. Do I want to cook up one more with you guys right here? Do I want to cook up one more? Pyfer Moreno, Melquizael Costa, Rafa García. Okay. Markel Mederos plus 778. That's pretty freaking good, man. That's pretty freaking good. If you don't play Costa, you got plus 266. It loses all aura. If you add in Shirez, you got plus 1188. This one is also quite good. Pyfer, Moreno, García, Mederos, Costa, Edgar Shirez. And if for whatever reason you want to alternate a different underdog in your lineup that's more fit to whatever calls you're making, I wish you nothing but the best, bro. I want you guys all to have savage success. W's to the people. I appreciate you guys all watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode of this week's Best MMA Bets. I'm feeling damn good headed into UFC Mexico City. So make sure you guys keep it locked in throughout the week. Hit the like button here. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. I got daily content. You don't want to miss it. Keep it locked in. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Turn the post notifications on. You don't want to miss a video or a live stream. I'm live every day. Lunchtime live every single day of the week. You don't want to miss it. W's in the comments if you got nothing to say, but definitely let me know what you thought of all the picks. And, drop some of your favorite bets or picks or parlays or whatever feels right in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching. I love each and every one of you. Don't be afraid to share the video with, a group chat or something that likes MMA, because I think this week's Best MMA Bets this week has the best vibe, maybe of the month. I feel like it. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Thanks, guys. I'm signing off. Much love. Peace out.